And good evening, all. My name is John Thompson. I am serving as the solicitor for the Canton Borough Zoning Hearing Board. Tonight's proceeding is to give a public hearing on the application of Futures Community Health Services, I believe it is, Community Support Services, for their petition requesting a special exception to place a group home
That's a personal care
home
slash
on 151 Montague Street. And the applicant is represented this evening by attorney Chris Jones. I will this time introduce the board members, beginning with the chairman, David Rua. Sandy Most, Brock Kitchen, and Andrea Sutton will be serving as the members of the zoning hearing board for tonight's proceeding. I would also note that Beth Brucey is our stenographer. She will be taking testimony, and I'm going to ask, I understand there's several people that are in the community that may wish to give comment or have questions answered. I will certainly permit that, but please be very thoughtful and considerate of the other members and only speak one at a time. And I'm also going to ask you to please identify yourself by name and address. Anyone who is a resident of the borough will be given an opportunity to present evidence or to present their questions. But again, just be respectful of each other, one at a time, please. Okay. I'd also like to just briefly discuss one other aspect. There's generally an understanding that a zoning hearing board may be able to just say yes or no, and that is actually not the case. A special exception is a permitted use, provided that the applicant meets the criteria contained within the ordinance. It's a simple application of the facts as presented by the applicant to the rule of law, which in this case is the Canton Borough zoning ordinance. I would also at this point like to introduce LeighAnn Ellingham, who is serving as the Canton Borough zoning officer, and she will also be the first witness. I will be taking some testimony from her and then turning the questioning over to Attorney Jones, not only for any cross-examination he may have, but in addition thereto for the presentation of their case in chief. With that said, are there any other issues or concerns prior to the conducting of the hearing?
Nothing from the applicant.
Okay. Ms. Ellingham, I would ask that you perhaps move forward just to give, we'll call that the witness stand. And I would ask that you swear her in, please.
Do you swear or affirm testimony about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth tonight?
Yes.
Thank you.
And if you'd state your name and position with the municipality.
LeighAnn Ellingham, zoning officer.
And Ms. Ellingham, at some point did you receive an application from the applicant this evening?
This evening?
Did you receive? Yes. Okay. And I'm going to show you what will be marked as Exhibit 1. Is this in fact a copy of that application that you received?
Yes, that's right.
Okay. If you would mark that as Exhibit 1. Upon receipt of that application, what did you do at that time?
We contacted the zoning hearing, letting them know that there was an application that was received. And then we scheduled a hearing in a timely manner.
Did you have an opportunity to examine the application for completeness?
Yes.
Okay. Was it in fact complete when you received it?
Yes, the first one, I asked them to resubmit it just because it was just a little confusing to find the answers, but yes.
Okay. And do you remember the date that that was received by?
On the 28th is when we got it.
Okay.
May 28th.
Okay. And I would further ask, what did you do thereafter? You said that you notified the members of the zoning hearing board?
Yes.
Okay. And have you subsequently had the opportunity to post the property?
Yes.
Okay. And did you take any other activities other than the posting of the property prior to tonight's proceeding?
Yes, I hand delivered the zoning hearing, this whole packet, to all of the residents within 300 feet of the property.
At this point, have the specific requirements of the Canton Borough Zoning Hearing Board or zoning ordinance been met?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that again?
Yeah, absolutely. At this point, have all of the prerequisites for today's proceeding been met as it pertains to the Canton Borough Zoning Ordinance?
Yes.
If there are no further questions from members of the board, Mr. Jones, I'll allow you to engage further.
Thank you. Just a point, you said that you received the application, I think May 28th. Did you maybe misstate, was it April 28th?
I'm sorry, yes, I meant April 28th.
That's okay.
I'm sorry about that.
No,
I looked right at it too.
No,
Yeah,
I just wanted to just clarify that. So it was
Yeah.
April 28th of 2026.
Yes.
Okay. And prior to filing the application for the applicant for Futures Community, do you recall a conversation that we had, you, myself, and you had about this particular use that we were looking
Yes.
to locate at the address of 151 Montague Street?
Yes.
Okay. And I advise you what Futures Community Community Support Services, does. And you reviewed and got back to me and said that it would fall within a special exception as a personal care home under the zoning ordinance with applying before where we are here today, correct?
Correct.
Okay, thank you. So the Canton Borough has a zoning ordinance which we're all here following today, is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. John, how do you want me to list the applicants' exhibits? You want me to go A or applicant one or?
I will conduct the ones that we've entered as board one, and then I would say applicant one.
Okay. Okay. So what I'm gonna hand you here is what I've pre-marked as exhibit applicant number one. I would ask you to identify that.
That is the Canton Borough zoning map.
Okay. And that is the current zoning map for the zoning ordinance that we're hearing today. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. And it lists various districts within there? Is
Yes,
that correct?
it does.
I'd ask that this be admitted as applicant exhibit number one.
Okay. Without any objection, it would be construed as admitted.
Great, thank you. So I'm going to hand you what I've marked here as applicant exhibit number two. It is an assessment card, tax assessment for 151 Montague Street. Also attached to that is the deed, which I keep my notes here as well. Number two. So does that, and you see there's a picture, I believe, on the second page. Is that the home that we're talking about?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And that's the deed that you're aware of that's referenced in the assessment card for this 151 Montague Street?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I'd ask that that be admitted as applicant's exhibit number two.
I think there is a question with regard to the appropriate pronunciation of the street. I believe Ms. Most would like to clarify that.
It's Montague Street.
Oh, is it?
So that we're talking about the correct property and the correct street,
Very
and
good.
the correct zoning area. No confusion.
Thank you.
Yes, exactly.
And I'm going to hand you what I've marked as applicant's exhibit number 3. Could you identify that?
Yes. This is the designation of districts, yes.
So that's a designation of the various districts within the Canton Borough zoning, and that are also listed on exhibit number 1 being the various districts within that map.
Right.
Is that right?
That's correct.
So from
Montag, you're right. Montag.
Jesus, sorry, I'm gonna struggle with that now because in my head. I apologize. So, based upon the map and the various districts from the zoning ordinance of Canton Borough, the 151 Montag Street, would I be correct that that is listed in the medium density residential district?
Yeah.
Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. And can you read to me that medium density district based upon the zoning ordinance?
You want me to read the whole paragraph?
If you would, please.
Absolutely. Medium density residential district. The intent of the medium density residential R2 district.
Hang on.
I'll slow down.
The intent of.
The intent of the medium density residential district is to provide for the orderly development of existing and proposed medium density residential areas, compatible with the areas of the borough that provide both municipal sewer and water services. The medium density residential district promotes a safe family, home environment at a higher building density, yet still meeting minimum standards for health and safety against hazards and nuisances, and promotes other uses such as adult care facilities, educational uses, home occupations, mixed residential uses, and other essential services.
Thank you. And as that be admitted as applicant's exhibit number 3.
Deemed admitted.
Are you familiar with Futures and what they provide?
I know they help individuals with intellectual disabilities.
And for housing?
Yes,
Is that right?
yes.
Okay. And there's other type of entities within the county that also provide these type of services. Would you agree with that?
Yes,
One being Martha Lloyd, is that right?
correct.
Okay. They also provide a residential housing for people with intellectual disabilities.
Right on that.
Okay. So I'm going to hand you what I've marked as applicant's exhibit number 4. Could you identify that?
There's the location of Martha Lloyd here in the borough.
Okay. Is that an assessment card that I've handed you?
Yes, tax assessment card.
And what's the address for that property?
312 East 2nd Street.
Okay. And that's owned by Martha Lloyd, is that right?
It's owned by Martha Lloyd. The previous owners, okay, yeah, Martha Lloyd, yeah.
Martha Lloyd Schooling. So are they using that as a, similar as Futures, like a community home for intellectually disabled individuals?
I imagine, I think so.
Okay. Do you know what district that 312 East 2nd Street is located in?
I'm not. I don't know what district that would be.
If I hand you the applicant exhibit number 1, would you be able to locate that?
Yeah, yep. That's working. I believe that that's also medium density.
So that's also the medium density residential district?
I believe so, I can't read it. Yeah, I think it is.
Would any of these other maps help you, or?
I just can't read the streets on here. I believe it's right here, correct?
Sorry, yeah, glasses.
Yeah, I can't see it. I can't really see it either.
So,
I believe it's right. Let me see.
what's the address of that property?
312 East 2nd Street.
Okay, so, oops. East 2nd Street, you said?
Yes.
So if I have you look at my phone, which is through Google Maps, this 312 East 2nd Street.
Where Facet and Second come together. Yes, that's in the medium density residential R2 district.
Okay, so that is in the same district as the 151 Montag Street.
Yes, correct.
What else would that be?
Both of them?
Well, no, the one's already admitted.
Oh yeah, I just took it, I'm sorry.
Yep, no, that's fine. I'd ask that exhibit number 4, being the 312 East 2nd Street assessment card, be admitted.
With no objections, will be deemed admitted.
Next, I'm going to hand you, which I've identified as applicant exhibit number 5. This being an assessment card. Can you tell me what address that is?
75 Cedar Ridge Lane.
Okay. And is that also a Martha Lloyd school owner?
Yes.
Okay. And is your understanding that that is also a similar type of facility for intellectually disabled individuals who are using that as resident services?
This has group home on here on the assessment card. So I didn't notice if that one was under group home too, but I guess that wouldn't be under the same thing if it was a group home versus a community home. Now that I'm looking at that.
I mean, that's what the county assessment has. I'm not sure how the borough identified it at any certain time.
Right.
Does that necessarily, does the county assessment, what's on there actually reflect what the zoning is or zoning decisions? Do you know that? No.
I just
don't
saw
either.
group home and I just want to make sure that what you guys applied for is the group home and it does say group home on here, that's all.
Is it owned by Martha Lloyd?
Yes.
Is it, do you know of Martha Lloyd that uses for residential services for intellectually disabled individuals?
Yes.
Okay. And that's, what's the address of that?
75 Cedar Ridge Lane.
And do you know what district that falls in?
I do not.
If I hand you the map of Exhibit 1, would it help you identify that?
I can try.
If I approach.
Okay, so that would be in the medium density R2 as well.
That would also fall in the, what's that?
Medium density, the R2 district.
The medium density R2 district. And that is the same district as 151 Montauk Street.
Yes, that's right.
That we're applying for. Thank you. I would ask that that be admitted as exhibit number 5.
That will also be admitted.
Thank you. I'm handing you what I've identified as applicant's exhibit number 6. Can you identify that?
Yes, that is the general provisions for personal care homes.
And can you read the number 1?
Personal care homes shall be permitted as a special exception in the low-density residential and medium-density residential zones, subject to following criteria.
So these are the criteria that need to be met for a special exception, right, before the zoning hearing board. Is that right?
These are the criteria that need to be met for a personal care home.
Mm-hmm.
But not just the special exceptions.
Mhm.
These are just for,
There's other general
Yes,
conditions that
yes.
need to be met,
yes,
but these are items that need to also be
Yes,
met. Would that be
yes.
correct? Okay. So, with that, is there water and sewer available at this location, 151 Montauk Street?
yes,
Okay. There's a minimum front and rear yard setbacks for this property, or for the general provisions for personal care home being 20 feet. Is that right? That's listed?
yes, in part E,
Yep.
yes,
Part F has buffer yards of no less than 15 feet in width. Is that right?
yes,
The buffer yards, is that defined in your zoning ordinance?
yes,
And with buffer yards for this particular property, since it's not an industrial or commercial, would just be vegetative grounds, is that correct?
yes. It says all buffer yards shall be planned and maintained within, let me slow down, sorry. All buffer yard areas shall be planted and maintained with a vegetative material, and where required for commercial and industrial uses, a screen planting shall be planted and maintained to the full length of side and rear lot lines which do not abut streets. So, I guess, yeah, that would be fine.
So vegetative.
Yes.
And vegetative cover as defined, I don't know if you have the definitions of your, do you have those with you, of your zoning
No.
ordinance?
I don't think so.
Do you recognize these as being the definitions of
Yes.
the Canton Borough zoning ordinance?
Yes, I do.
And if I'm pointing you to vegetative cover, what is that?
An area covered with vegetative material, grass, shrubs, vines, and trees.
Okay. So grass would meet that definition as for a buffer yard.
Shrubs, vines, and trees, and grass.
And grass, right. Sounds like anything green.
Yes.
Thank you.
Page 6.
Did I hand any of mine? Just make sure.
It's possible.
No?
Hold on, no, I might have some. I do, right there. Sorry, I have the same things printed out, so.
There we go. That's what I thought. Well, that's the exhibit number 6, which is the zoning, part of the zoning ordinance of Canton Borough with regard to personal care homes be admitted.
No objection, and that will also be admitted.
Okay, thank you. So if you would for the board, I'm just going to have you go back through and if you could just read those other general provisions for a personal care home for the board, if you would. So A through G.
Okay. A, lot area shall be determined on the basis of building size, yard requirements, water and wastewater requirements, and other applicable standards as per Part 4 of this chapter. B, personal care homes must be approved where a municipal sewer and water connection is available by the Canton Municipal Authority. C, the facility shall be constructed and operated in accordance with all applicable licensing requirements set forth by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. D, no more than 2 persons at a time shall reside in any room designated for overnight visits. E, the minimum front and rear yard setbacks shall be not less than 20 feet. F, a buffer yard of no less than 15 feet in width shall be established along rear and side yards abutting residential uses. And G, off-street parking shall be provided in accordance with Part 7 of this chapter.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So as a zoning officer of Canton Borough, I'm just going to hand you what I've marked as applicant's exhibit number 7. Is that a picture of 151 Montauk Street?
Yes.
And from that picture, it shows a residential home, is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. With a driveway?
Yes, that's correct.
And it is a ranch-style home, one level?
Yes.
Okay. And appears to be grass in the front and grass on the sides. Is that correct?
Yes, that's
From this
correct.
picture? Thank you. So that be admitted as applicant's exhibit number 7.
With no objection, that is admitted.
Are you familiar with the Lake County GIS maps?
Yes, I
and
am.
the parcel map viewers?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to hand you, which I'm identifying here as applicant's exhibit number A, being the 151 Montague Street. And does this appear to be the 151 Montague Street?
Yes.
Okay. And with that, there's measurement tools on that GIS map, right?
That's correct.
Okay. And so one of the conditions for a personal care home, we said, was the 20 feet in the front and the back,
That's
right?
correct.
Okay. So the GIS map outlines like kind of the tax map area for the particular property.
Right.
Right? The distance from the front to the line is listed there as 38.9 feet, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
Those lines are approximate, just so you know, but yes, that's probably correct.
Okay. And the back of that, from the back of the house to, again, that line as listed on the GIS maps being 53.5 feet? Okay. So the front and the back meet the 20 feet?
Right.
Right. The side, from point to point, is roughly 17.7 feet.
On here, yes.
And also actually being similar, 17.7 on the other side.
Correct.
And here's another of taken from a different, because it all depends on where you kind of mark the point, right?
Yeah.
So here's another one that showed 16.6 feet.
Right.
And another one that showed 17.7 feet. Would you agree with that on either side of those?
Yeah, I agree that that's what I see, but I do want to say that those aren't like right on. You have to get a survey for it to be like the exact feet from whatever line.
From what this represents, does it
yes.
appear that it meets the conditions of 15
Yes.
feet on either side?
Yes, that's correct.
And on either side, there's grass or green or area, right?
Yes, that's what it shows, yes.
It covers the vegetative cover of the buffer yard section with regarding the general provisions of a personal care home. Do you agree with that?
Correct, yeah.
Okay, thank you. I would ask that be admitted as applicant's exhibit number 8.
We'll give it the weight that it affords, but yes, we will admit that.
All right. On the section of the zoning ordinance, there's also, refers to must meet part 7 of the parking. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. I didn't make a copy of your zoning ordinance for this, so I'm just gonna recite it. Is this, what I'm showing you, is this the part 7 of the parking regulations for the zoning ordinance of the Canton Borough?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So at the top, it talks about the off-street parking facilities, number 1. The term parking space includes either a covered garage space or uncovered parking space located on the public right-of-way. Do you agree with that? That's what that states?
Yes, that's what that says.
Okay. And then on number 5, it talks about each off-street parking space shall consist of an area of not less than an average of 162 square feet.
Yes, that's what it says.
Okay. And there's a table within that, I'm sorry, within that chapter 27 or part 7, being the parking, that specifically spells out personal care home.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yep.
And the spaces, what it appears to is 1 space per 4 beds, based on design capacity, plus 1 space for each employee on the largest shift.
Yes, that's correct. It does say that.
So if the intentions of futures as the applicant is to have 3 beds for 3 residents at this particular location, it would require one space for that,
Right,
correct?
that's correct.
And one space for each employee, is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. And the largest ship, right? Okay. Also on that, on the page where it talked about 162 square feet, number 5 of the zoning ordinance, it talks about that the spaces shall not be less than 9 feet wide and 18 feet long. Is that right?
That's what it says, yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So I'm going to hand you what I've marked as applicant exhibit number 9. This is also the GIS map measuring the points of the driveway width, showing 20.1 feet from this particular picture. Is that correct?
Yes, that's what it says.
Okay. I'd ask that be admitted as applicant exhibit number 9.
That is admitted.
I'm going to hand you applicant's exhibit number 10, which is also, this is 3 pictures of the Bradford County GIS maps, showing different square footages, one taking from the yellow line, not including all the way to the end of the driveway. Into the garage area, showing 55 square feet. The other, just not including the garage, and not just going to the yellow line, showing 773 square feet.
That's correct.
And the other going, not including the garage, but going to the actual end of the driveway to the roadway, being 1,010 square feet.
That's correct.
And the garage is part of the parking area, right? Okay. So of these, it looks like if these measurements are accurate as listed here, that the square footage would be about 1,353 square feet or more if you take it to the actual end of the driveway.
Right.
All right. And that's as applicant's exhibit number 10.
That is admitted.
And for what your understanding is this is a 2-car driveway, right? 2 cars
Right.
could fit in that driveway, like width-wise. Wouldn't you
Yes.
say that?
Yes.
And probably several length-wise. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
So, besides other facts that we might need to support with regarding from futures and from the applicant as to facts and their proposed use, at least as set forth by these exhibits, it would meet all of those requirements for parking, the buffer yards, the front and rear yards, and the municipal water and sewer within that. Am I correct?
I mean, from what you showed me, yes.
Okay. So the medium density residential district is to promote safe family home environments at a higher building density, yet still meeting minimum standards for health and safety against hazards and nuisance, and promotes other uses such as adult care facilities. Is that right? That is as a definition of your medium density residential district. Is that right?
Okay, can I look at it? I don't know if that's exactly what it says. Yes, that's what this says, yes.
Okay. And that's your districts for the Canton Borough zoning district?
Yes.
Okay. And this proposed site is a residential home, right?
That's correct.
Okay. And a residential home would fall within this definition, right?
That's correct.
Okay. And a residential home for adult care would also fall within there. Is that correct?
As long as it falls to special exceptions, yes.
Okay. Thank you. The other criteria with regarding a special exception are set forth within the zoning ordinance, but are also set forth within the application. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, all right. Number 7 of the general criteria talks about the 2003-2005 Joint Community Comprehensive Plan for Granville Township, Canton Borough, and Canton Township. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And that's a very large document, right? The comprehensive plan.
Yes.
And within that comprehensive plan, it talks about some of the objectives of the various municipalities. Is that right?
That's correct.
All right. And to have adequate and opportunities for all types of housing. Do you agree with that?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. So a resident, this home as an adult care resident facility, would you agree that that does not impair the integrity of the comprehensive zoning plan as a resident where this is located? Would you agree with that?
Agree with, say that again? Agree with what?
Okay. So number 7 says the proposed use will not substantially impair the integrity of the joint community comprehensive plan. Part of that comprehensive plan is to have housing, right?
Right.
This is an area which is where there's housing and residents.
Yes.
Okay. If used, and if the board accepted, if used as a house, as a residence,
Yes.
for adult
Okay.
care,
Mhm.
it would not impair the integrity of that plan. You agree with that?
Right. Yes, I agree.
It's hard to get around that, but
Yes.
just, thank you.
It's a lot, yeah.
Thank you. Number 4 of the questions of the general criteria talks about that there needs to be adequate public facilities are available to serve the proposed use, such as school, fire, police, ambulance protection, sewer, water, and other utilities, vehicle access, etc. It says. You agree with that? It says that?
Yes, I agree.
Okay. So, would you agree that there are adequate facilities in Canton Borough that are available to serve this location at 15 Montauk Street?
Yes, I agree with that.
And those would include as a personal care home, community home, adult care facility. Those services are available here in Canton Borough to serve that location. Would that be right?
To be correct.
Okay. There's water and sewer, you have fire, there's adequate driveway access to, in case of an emergency.
Yes, that's correct.
Just like every other, really, residence within the, probably within the borough.
Right.
Right? Okay. And there's utilities that service that besides water and sewer. I think there's electric and,
Yes.
and other service utilities, right?
Yes.
Okay. That's all the questions I have for LeighAnn. Thank you very much.
Okay.
I don't
I
know
have
if you
just 2 other things.
Yes.
I understand you may have some photographic evidence of the posting of the property.
Yes, I do.
Do you have those with you?
I have them on my phone.
Okay.
I can email them and print them out right now.
That would probably be preferable.
Yeah, I can do that right now.
Complete the record.
Yes.
And also, I do have a copy of the notice that I'd like to mark as Exhibit 2, Board's Exhibit 2, and move for admission along with 1 and what would ultimately be 3. I presume you have no objection to.
No objection.
Completion of the record.
I'm gonna take, I need to blow my nose. Pardon me.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
That's what I wanted.
Like kind of a max type of.
I'll bet it.
Okay, I'll take it out for that. Okay. I'm social working on that.
Just, there.
And just one other thing, I believe, and I've already done it as well, but any references to Montague should be Montague.
Didn't I say I know in the
Just
beginning.
one other time,
Did I?
yeah. But I think just for clarity on the record, we'd be
I'll make
referencing,
it all Montauk.
please.
Yes, thank you.
And with the ultimate admission of those 3 board exhibits, and I believe all of your exhibits have also been admitted into the record, I will turn the proceedings over to you.
Yeah.
Were there any questions for your zoning officer? I should, from the board.
I have questions, but they're not particularly directed for
To
her.
her, okay. then let's go ahead and begin with the presentation of your case in chief.
Is Montague, is that French?
It is, but that's not,
Well, my wife was half French, so she'll be upset with me.
Exactly.
My father's 100% French, so, you know, they'll be upset.
are they here?
No, 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 they are not. They're not. She's a Michaud, though, Miss Renee, so, you know. If I said Michaud, I'd get in trouble, so anyway.
Thank you.
No.
That can be You
Oh,
asked
let
for
me
it.
that,
Yes.
thank you.
With that, I'm going to call Renee Rickert.
I gotta go to the hot seat.
Yeah. To be sworn in.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony about to give tonight will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Renee, can you state your name and your position with Futures?
Yes, my name is Renee Rickert, and I am the CEO at Futures Community Support Services.
Renee with two E's or one?
2 at the end. Renee.
And your last name is?
Rickert.
Renee, what does Futures Community Support Services Inc. do? Can you explain to the board what they do?
Sure. We provide residential and community-based services to individuals with, primarily with intellectual disabilities, but sometimes they also have physical disabilities as well. We have 14 community homes within Bradford County. We have, I believe, we're around 19 life-sharing homes, and we also support individuals that live in their own apartments, and that can vary from a couple of hours a week up to 40 or 50 hours a week. It just depends on their needs.
So, individuals, they have to, how do they qualify to get these services?
Well, they have to have an intellectual disability, which was formerly known as mental retardation, but nobody uses that term anymore. So they have to have that diagnosis, which is determined by, actually it's determined by the county, and then the county would make referral for services, and the funding comes through waiver, which is facilitated by the county. It goes from the federal down to the state, and then the state down to the county. We don't determine the eligibility. That's determined by the county.
So, and it's primarily what your services are for residential, though, is that right?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Sorry, folks.
Good.
Started last night. Thank you.
If if somebody qualifies as a resident, what do they do at these particular houses? Can you explain them and kind of explain what services they receive?
Well, each house is very different. Between the 14 community homes we have, the level of disability varies. So we have individuals as young as 18, and we have individuals as old as 86. And within those homes, they can be in wheelchairs. They can be completely dependent upon us to provide their daily living skills. Cook for them, we clean for them. We also have individuals that are a bit more independent, and by that what I mean is they can have unsupervised time. They can go for walks. We have individuals that have jobs. We have individuals that go to day program. In fact, we have individuals that go to Martha Lloyd's day program in Troy, Serves day program in Monroe Inn, and Penn York's day program up in the Athens area. So whatever they want their day to look like, it's our job to help that happen. And then the staff are trained in order to meet the needs of each individual that lives in that residence.
So let's look at the residence that's here, we're here today on, which is the 151 Montauk Street. This proposed is a house, is that right?
Yes, correct, yes.
Is it a ranch style home?
Yes, correct.
How many bedrooms?
3.
3 bedrooms. How many bathrooms?
1.
And a kitchen?
Yes,
And an attached garage?
yes.
What is the intentions of the number of residents that would be located at said house?
3,
3?
yes.
So 1 resident per bedroom?
Correct, that would be our intentions.
Okay. You could hold up to 2 per bedroom, is that right?
Correct, per our regulations, we could, yes.
Okay. But it is your intention to only have 3 residents in 1 in each bedroom, is that right?
Correct, as an agency as a whole, we don't have individual shared bedrooms. So
Okay.
in all of our.
In all of your houses?
Yep, everybody has their own bedroom.
Okay, thank you. You're licensed by the state?
Correct.
And I'm going to read to you the definition as a personal care home of the Canton Borough zoning ordinance. Personal care home is a premises in which food, shelter, and personal assistance or supervision are provided for a period exceeding 24 for 4 or more adults who are not relatives of the operator, who do not require the services in or of a licensed long-term care facility, but who do require assistance or supervision in matters such as dressing, bathing, diet, financial management, evacuation of a residence in the event of emergency, or medication prescribed for self-administration. Does your future's services that you provide and your entity fall within this definition?
Yes, that's essentially what we do every day.
Okay. And besides the fact that you could have 4 there at this location,
Correct.
but it's not your intention to have
Correct,
4.
that's not our intention.
Okay. This residence would also fall within that use as defined by the Canton zoning board.
Yes.
How many staff will be, if you have 3 residents at this particular location, what is the number of staff that will be there?
Monday through Friday during the day, I would say on average 3 staff. The evenings would be, early evenings would be 2 and overnights would be 1.
And the like largest shift would be 3 then?
Yes.
Okay. So you heard the zoning officer describe the parking,
Yes.
and for a personal care home having 1 space for 4 beds. So that would be 1 space because you're only looking for 3 beds,
Correct.
right? And the maximum would be, looks like a largest shift would be 1 space for each employee. So that would be 3.
Yes.
So that would be 2.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And the average square footage being not less than 162 square feet. You heard that being stated as well?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm not going to make you.
Do math, please.
Well, I'm going to let you use my calculator. How about
Okay.
that? So if you could do 4 times 162.
648.
Okay. So that's 648 square feet.
Yes.
Okay. And your familiar with the site, obviously.
Yes.
Right? And the areas that I described with the zoning officer, do you agree that those to be accurate?
Yes.
Okay. So the front, the back, the sides?
Yes.
Okay. When you said your license, I'm assuming you need to operate consistent with some sort of licensing, is that correct?
Yes.
Are your residents inspected at times?
Yes.
And to comply with those licensing requirements?
Yes. So the county monitors us once a month and the state comes in once a year.
Okay.
We actually just have licensing.
And have you had any issues with licensing any of your other homes?
No, no major issues.
Do you have maintenance? This is a residential home that has utilities, that has, like my home, that has a roof that may need to be replaced, that has a furnace that may need to be replaced at times. What does Futures do in those type of situations?
We have actually a maintenance team. We have a maintenance coordinator and 2 maintenance techs that takes care of the day-to-day operations. Major repairs like roofs, we would receive quotes from roof contractors and then ultimately pay them to do a job like that. But minor repairs on the houses, that's handled by our maintenance team.
Okay. How about lawn care, snow removal? How do you take care of those services, those types of needs?
It would either be our maintenance team or we would contract out. We actually have 2 houses in the Canton area now that we contract out for both of those to local contractors.
And the maintenance would be similar to anyone's residence, would that be correct?
That would be correct, yes.
And the idea is that these houses, they're not going to change in any way from the looks of them, from the current houses as it sits. Is that right?
Correct. We strive to have our houses blend in with the community and be part of the community.
And have the residents be part of the community.
Correct. Absolutely. That is the ultimate goal.
Okay. Are you planning any alterations to this home?
No.
Would there be, any signage or commercial signage that you'd be putting on this property?
Absolutely not.
How about, you said during the day there's 2, how about at night? Is there someone there at night?
Yes, we have, and our staff are awake staff.
What is that?
Our staff are awake staff. They're not allowed to sleep.
Okay. How many staff do you have at night?
1.
At
minimum. Some houses have 2, but 1 at minimum.
Okay. And what do they do? What does the staff do?
At night?
Yeah.
It depends on the house. We have our individuals that are more physically dependent on us. We have to go in and reposition them and sometimes change them because they've had an accident. Ultimately, if the individuals don't need that level of care, the overnight staff are there to assure health and safety. They'll, do meal prep for the next day. They'll do deep cleaning in the house. And obviously they're there in case of an emergency such as a fire.
Are there, there any special things you need to do with regarding fire protection or other things? That's just because you said that.
Nothing special other than we do have to do a fire drill once a month. We have to do 2 overnight fire drills, and then the rest are daytime fire drills. So,
Can you make certain there's appropriate smoke detectors?
oh, yes, yes. We have
Fire
regulation.
extinguishers, I'm
Yep.
assuming?
We have to have certain kinds.
Okay. You have a contract for sale to purchase this property?
Yes, that's correct.
But it's to be used as a community home, though, correct?
Correct, yes.
Okay. The R2 district is to promote safe family home environment within the borough of Canton. You heard that definition as read by the zoning officer.
Yes,
And would you agree that your proposed use would also fall within that, would promote safe family and a home environment?
yes,
You would be using this no different than any other residence, is that correct?
correct.
The residents will sleep there,
Yes.
eat there,
Mm-hmm.
engage in activities of daily life,
Yes, correct.
similar to any other residence, is that correct?
Yes.
And just like this residence, as all other of your residences, your goal would be to promote the public health, safety, and general welfare within any municipality that you're located in. Is that correct?
Yes, that would be correct.
So you would agree that you can meet criteria number 1 of the zoning ordinance by having a home, a residence, similar and consistent with any other residential home within that R2 district. You would agree with that?
Yes, I would.
On criteria number 2, would you agree that the use that you are proposing will not distract from or detract from the use and enjoyment of any adjoining or nearby properties?
Correct.
You're gonna use this just as any other residential home would be using it. Is that correct?
Yes, that would be correct.
There's not going to be alterations, exterior alterations that you're needing to do.
No.
There's no commercial signage.
No.
You're not going to have any noise, odor, light, or anything other than what would typically be a single-family residence. Is that right?
Yes, that would be correct.
Sorry to interrupt. There is a wasp on your leg.
Oh,
Yours, yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't remember the name, but it's.
Hold on.
And I'm allergic to
Are you allergic?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
geez.
I'm like,
Okay.
and I don't have my EpiPen.
Oh,
Sorry.
Thank you. I was gonna try to keep him away from you. That was really weird.
Sorry, I couldn't remember your name.
Chris.
Hold on. I can come over there and get it if you want.
Yeah.
Do you want to, oh, you get out of here, oh no. Okay, wait.
Wait.
Where'd you go?
Just sit right, yep.
Nope.
Oh,
It missed it.
Yeah.
Got it, there we go. Thank you, Brock.
Thank you, Mr. Kitchen.
I'm a lifesaver tonight.
Oh, that
I
was.
saw y'all looking at something, I don't know what.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, you're good.
Sorry, I don't know where I was. What I was saying was the use that you're proposing will not impact beyond those ordinary associated with single-family residential occupancy. You agree with that?
I would, yes.
This property is going to continue to be used as a residence.
Yes,
The physical appearance will remain as a standard 3-bedroom single-family home.
yes.
And you agree that the proposed use, as stated, will not change the character of the subject property's neighborhood,
Correct.
being a single-family
Yes.
residence and being used as a residence. I'm certain you evaluated this and you heard the zoning officer, but when looking at this residence, you evaluated that there were available public services to assist in this type of use and to serve this use. Would you agree with that?
Yes,
So like water, sewer,
yes,
ambulance, police, all those things, fire,
yes.
correct? Okay. This property is not located in a floodplain ordinance. You agree with that?
I would agree, yes. I'm sure it's that code now.
We've gone over the various items as set forth within a personal care home of the zoning ordinance, and you would agree that we can meet all of those particular items.
Yes.
The size of the building, the yards, the buffers, front, back, sides, parking. You're not going to have more than 2 people in any residence.
Right.
You meet all, you're licensed. You meet all of the requirements under a personal care home, the general provisions. You agree with that?
Yes.
You don't require this? Your use fits what I just told you.
Oh, yes, correct.
So with zoning, there's also certain requirements which are called performance standards with any type of use needs to comply with within a zoning, when somebody has a zoning ordinance, okay? And so I'm going to go through those and ask you certain questions. Your use is not going to have any vibrations, right? That's going to cause any of your uses as a resident, right?
Nope, no vibration.
Okay. No odors or other form of air pollutions are going to be part of what your use is as a resident, right?
Correct, no odors.
You talked about you have appropriate requirements for fire and protection, and nothing that you do is going to cause fire or explosives or anything that's going to, other than a typical residence. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Your use is not different in any other way other than a normal residence.
Correct.
By your use, you certainly wouldn't cause any lighting or glare to the neighbors.
No.
Is that right?
Okay.
And you're not requiring any special lighting for the use
No.
On the property. Is that correct?
Nope.
Okay.
Just normal external lighting you have in the house.
Great. You wouldn't have any discharge of any effluent that would be different than any other single-family residence, right?
Correct.
And certainly wouldn't have any, then again with that, wouldn't have any toxic or hazardous waste associated with your use. You wouldn't have any radioactivity or electrical disturbances associated with your use.
We would not.
You wouldn't have noise that would exceed 85 decibels at any of the property lot lines. Would you agree with
I
that?
would agree, yes.
And 85 decibels, just so you're aware, is listed as heavy city traffic. You wouldn't have anything like that sort from this use of this home.
No.
Your use wouldn't cause any amount of emissions of smoke or unnecessary smoke in that use as a residence,
Correct, it would
as a
not.
community home. You wouldn't, as a community home, you wouldn't cause any unusual erosion, is that right?
That's correct.
And you would maintain all of your yards as you have stated here.
Yes, correct.
So it's your opinion that you would meet all of the criteria for a special exception for a personal care home or community home located at 151 Montauk Street in Canton, PA. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
I have no further questions.
We will then open it up for community questions. However, I will first ask if any members of the zoning hearing board, starting with the chairman, should you have any questions for this witness?
You said up to 6 people?
It could be up to 6 people because there could be 2 in a bedroom, but our intention is only 3.
And then plus staff.
Correct.
Plus staff. Okay. And then if it was at full capacity, there would be no overnight guests, or there would still be possibility of overnight guests if there's only 2 in a room? Or there would?
Individuals do have the right to have overnight guests, so if they had somebody they wanted to spend the night, we would permit that. But as far as residents, there would only be 3, 1 in each bedroom.
1 in each bedroom,
Yes.
okay. That's all the questions I have personally.
Ms. Mose?
I have a couple of questions. I'm looking at the realtor's sheet that defines the house, that you have shown a map of the residential area. This has been submitted. And the pages preceding that, on the Montague Street, defined copy with the building photo that was admitted into evidence, lists this house as 2 bedrooms. And your application lists it as 3. So also on this extra features that was provided, it talks about a basement that I'm wondering if you're planning to use for a bedroom.
I think you need to address it to the legal service.
Because this is conflicting information from what you have on your application. On your application, you are stating that it is 3 bedrooms. And on this realtor sheet, it defines it as a 2-bedroom home.
I believe she's reviewing the assessment card.
Yes.
So I wonder if you could clarify that.
It's a 3-bedroom house, that's what it was listed as. I can't speak to the
Where's the 3rd bedroom?
other upstairs, they're all upstairs.
When you say upstairs,
There is a, I'm sorry, there is a basement, that's what I meant by upstairs, because she said a basement. There is a basement, but the bedrooms are all on the same floor, as is the bathroom, the living room, and the kitchen.
So if you have 3 bedrooms for 3 residents, how much square footage is each one of those bedrooms?
I'd have to look at the listing, but they exceeded our regulatory requirements for a bedroom, the size of a bedroom. Because for our regulations, each bedroom has to be a certain amount of square foot.
Okay. You're talking about in your application that you are applying for this proposed use of property as a personal care home. I have a question.
Okay.
Are you looking to open this as a 6,400 licensed community living home?
Yes, it's a 6,400.
Do you have non-contiguous clearance
Yes, I do.
to move forward?
I do.
Do you have documentation for that?
I do not have documentation for that. I got informal approval before even putting an offer in on a house because that's risky for us as an organization.
It is very risky.
So I obtained a non-formal approval from the Office of Developmental Programs before
Then you
even
would
putting
have
in
a
an offer.
document showing that, correct?
I probably have the email somewhere.
It would be important to have that document.
I won't have a formal non-contiguous though until after closing, and then we would proceed with licensing. I just need to make that clear.
So if you have a non-contiguous clearance to move forward with your licensing, then you would already have a request form from ODP.
I have an informal non-contiguous approval,
Right. So
not
it's-
a formal.
Right. Duly noted, okay. I want to ask you also about your licensing for a personal care home.
Okay.
Are you licensed as a personal care home
We're
in
licensed under
Bradford County?
We're licensed under Chapter 55, which is the Department of Human Services overall regulations, and then we have regulations underneath that.
Because I spoke with someone today in the Northeast Regional Office
Okay.
for the certification of personal care homes and assisted living,
Okay.
and you are not, according to their records, you are not a licensed futures provider that operates personal care homes in Bradford County.
Our license is the 6400, which is what you mentioned, ma'am.
I understand, but the Northeast Regional Office says that you are not a licensed personal care home in Bradford County under their care. So if you have an application in as a personal care home / community living, ODP group homes, which they used to be referred to as community living.
They're community living arrangements.
I understand.
That's what they're currently called.
I understand that.
Okay.
So I'm just going back because I know what the prior language was, and I respect the fact that we have changed that language to accommodate citizens, and I'm fully aware of the Americans with Disabilities Act. I worked with the senator who helped write that.
Okay.
So ODP group homes, which are community living homes, and personal care homes cannot be housed in the same place. They have there is no dual licensing allowed because you have 2 sets of regulations, you have 2 sets of criteria, and those 2 things are not compatible in one house. So when you tell me that you are licensed personal care home, all I can tell you is that the regional office is telling me that you are not.
I'm sorry if you felt that I said that we were a licensed personal care home. I said we were licensed under Chapter 55, which covers...
Right, but you are applying in this application as a personal care home, which Futures is not operating as in Bradford County. And then if you go...
I would object, we're applying to under the personal care home as defined by the zoning ordinance.
The personal care home under the zoning ordinance.
Title
I
55, which she then gave that definition.
I understand. I understand that, but you can tell why it's confusing if you are applying as a personal care home when I have been told that you are not a licensed personal care home in Bradford County.
It's a personal care home / community home is what's been applied for, which
Correct.
meets the definition under the zoning ordinance, which meets the section of your R2, which you already have 2 community homes in the same district.
Well, let me point out that community living would suit the R2 for a group home setting and not personal care.
You already have 2 locations currently.
Well, what are you talking about? Which
The
locations?
2 locations which
You're talking
the
about
Martha Lloyd, are those
Okay.
also community homes?
Well, Martha Lloyd's that home was purchased in 2014 before the ordinance was changed in 2015. So they did not require a variance, which is what you're trying to compare what you're doing to Martha Lloyd, and there is no comparison. They're not even in the same ordinance.
Are they the
They're not even
same?
in the same time zone.
Are they the same use?
It doesn't matter.
it
Because
does.
they may be the same use, but it doesn't matter whether they are already in there.
Is there two?
Let me finish. They have been in that home for 12 years.
Mhm.
So ODP is telling me that because they've been in that home for 12 years, they did not have to ask for a special exception. Okay? So those are the things that I am concerned about. And it did surprise me that you went ahead and do not have non-contiguous clearance in formal writing from ODP. Because they said when you don't have it and you purchase a property, you are in fact taking a risk of not going through the licensing procedure, which I know you're fully aware of. But for me, it was like, okay, so you have applied as a personal care home, which I find you don't meet those requirements. You meet the requirements of a group home. And a group home in R2.
Let's stick with just questions
Yeah.
at this point, okay?
Okay.
We're getting,
Those are the questions. I think so I guess I was looking for the paperwork from ODP based on the information that they provided today.
And again, I wouldn't be getting a formal non-contiguous until after the closing of the house because we don't own the property.
Correct,
is
which
informal.
seems to me quite
I
a
need
risk
that,
to
I
take.
need the non-contiguous in order to move forward with the licensing process.
Correct.
So, did
But
you
you
go
don't-
outside and gather information?
I looked it up on my phone.
But I thought you did you contact ODP?
I looked it up on my phone on ODP to get information on what personal care homes were.
Okay. You said you were making statements.
Today.
Did you contact anyone on behalf?
No,
You haven't contacted, didn't you just testify that you said, you're just
I
stating that
have-
you contacted ODP?
I asked a question about 6,400 licensed community living homes. And so I asked whether or not you had
To the department?
non-contiguous clearance. Yes, I talked today to the
Mhm.
Northeast Regional Office for Personal Care Homes to ask about
And do
licensing.
you realize what your role is?
My role is to listen to what you say tonight.
And
And
to
to
not
take
go
everything-
outside and do your own, your role is as a judiciary to listen to evidence.
I understand.
From an applicant and from objectors, and that's to submit your own.
It's not my own evidence, it's an answer of a question that you've applied as a personal care home. And I don't believe that it goes under the guise of personal care home.
It falls
I
under
believe
the
it goes
definition
under-
as testified here today within your zoning ordinance. The definition is stated within your zoning ordinance and also as advised by your zoning officer.
Understand, I believe you fall under the group home contingency in R2.
Well, I have to clarify everything in final argument. You have no other questions?
No, I have no other questions.
Will the building be taxable?
Yes. You will pay property taxes.
You will pay property tax, and you had 2 exits. I mean, like you said, you had the 3 bedrooms, so is there an exit in case they can go out the back? There is
Yeah,
a back.
there's a back deck out there, there's an exit into the garage and then an exit out front.
Okay.
You said you had 2 other residencies in the Canton area,
Canton
other than there in the township.
Yes, that's correct, sir.
And so they don't fall under zoning then, if they're in
No,
township.
no.
May I ask one more?
Yes, please.
If, you said it's a possibility your 3 people you could have like 6 people in there at one time, and if you decided to go to 6 people, friends, I mean relatives are staying overnight.
Like somebody spends the
Yeah,
night for
somebody
a
spends
visit.
the night,
Okay.
correct. All right, so say you have the 3 people, that means there's 6 people. Would that increase your person, would you have to have an additional staff for that? Because that's now 6 people, double what that 1 person for overnight would be. Or would you just maintain the one person on staff per night? And if you ever increased where you had to, which you stated you don't generally do that, but just in case you ever had to, that would be 12 people could possibly be there at night if you did it up to 6 people for overnight. And so would you have to increase your staffing for that night, or for the extent of however long they stay?
Okay, so I think I'm gonna answer your question, but if not, please ask me to clarify. So if an individual were to decide to have a friend spend the night, a sister spend the night, whomever it might be, it's gonna be 1, maybe 2 nights. Like, it's not gonna be an extended stay. And if they are having somebody spend the night, our staff are not responsible for that person when it comes to their daily care. So we would have to ensure that that person coming for that visit would be able to maintain their own care. And they could make their own meals, because we're not being paid to provide care to that visitor, therefore our staff would not be responsible for them.
Okay, would they also be not responsible for their activity in that place overnight?
Could you give me an example of what
Well,
you mean?
just say he had a friend over who decided they wanted to have a little party between themselves. And they imbibed a little more than they should. Would they have control over the guests?
If I can say in the years I've been here, we've never had that
No,
incident happen.
sure.
So I'm by no means am I going to say that it can't happen, but that's not something that we encourage. Like if it's a guest that's spending the night, we usually plan for it. We talk about what's going to happen. What are we going to do? What activities are we going to do? Watch a movie, play games, have a cookout, whatever that might look like. If it was somebody that
Of course, it's staying.
if it was somebody that was disruptive, because you have 3 people learning to live together, we have to be mindful of the other people living in the house. And if it's someone that's disruptive, then we would likely not allow them to come back and spend the night again because it's disruptive to the household.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from the members of the board? If no other questions,
Yeah, just a little bit of redirect.
absolutely, please do.
So as I defined it previously with regarding the personal care home as defined by the, I don't care how it's defined anywhere else, but it's defined by the Borough of Canton for a personal care home. Does your use meet that use as under that definition?
Defined by those standards, yes.
And the house that you're buying, regardless of what the Bradford County assessment may say, is a 3-bedroom home
That is correct, yes.
with 1 bathroom,
Correct,
1 attached garage,
yes,
kitchen,
yes,
all on level 1,
correct,
being ground level, not basement, and there's no second floor.
correct.
I have no other questions.
And then I will open it up. I am going to go row by row. If you have any evidence to present or you have any questions, this would be your opportunity. Again, I would ask for brevity. If you have specific questions, that's absolutely fine, but I don't want to hear the same question repeated, so to speak. So please pay attention to the questions of those in front of you.
Okay.
Anyone in the first row?
Sure. My
If
name
you
is
would stand, yes, state your name and.
My name is Jane Holcomb.
address.
I'm at 44 Montague Street. And my question, it regards your residents. We've got a basketball court and a community park right across the street, in addition to a Christian Children's Center.
Okay.
What's the possibility of having a dual diagnosis and ending up with a sex offender or someone on parole in your group home?
Based on the location of the house, we would not place a registered sex offender in that house. That would violate they can't live within a certain amount of feet within those types of settings.
What about parole?
I don't even know why someone would be, I can't even think of legal charges that would land someone in parole, but
There's always an opportunity.
well, yeah, I guess that, can happen to any one of us, right, unfortunately.
That's our concern.
I mean, at the end of the day, like, our goal is the health and safety of everybody. So when we're looking at individuals that would need residential placement, we're looking at their safety, but we're also looking at the community's safety, because we're not going to put them at risk, nor are we going to put you guys at risk. Am I going to sit here and say that we haven't supported people that are on probation or parole? Yes, we have absolutely done that, but we do that in a safe setting and a safe environment.
Okay, but we could end up with somebody on parole.
I personally would not, it's too much in the town to do that. I think it would be too risky for the person, and it would be too risky for the community.
And I appreciate you wouldn't do that, but I also appreciate that somebody else could within your organization.
Respect that.
Okay?
Anyone in that next row? What will be in row 2?
One thing. Mike Bowers, resident of the town,
Mike?
25 years in the Pennsylvania State Police.
Name, please.
IKE. It's Edward Ike.
Say all that again.
Edward Isaac Bowers,
Yes.
retired sergeant, Pennsylvania State Police, the station commander here at Towanda. Towanda Barracks runs one midnight car, which covers the entire county. In the event the borough has nobody working, PSP covers the borough. If they're in Silvera or Little Meadows, they're over an hour away responding.
Okay.
Do you have any problem with anybody at your home that we'd have to worry about?
Well, we haven't fully identified who would live in that particular house, but we do have 2 individuals that we are looking at that they would not be a problem.
Okay.
And we also have a community home in Ridgebury, which very much operates very similar, like it operates on state police, so we're used to.
I'm just saying the distance, you know,
Yes,
it's.
yes, very much so, yep.
Unfortunately, if you have nobody here,
Yes,
it's gonna take a while.
yes, that is correct.
Anyone else in that second row?
Can I add on to Ike's, I guess, can I?
What I was going to
okay.
do is allow and then open
Okay.
it back up,
Okay.
if that's
Okay.
okay. So,
Go ahead, Megan.
My first question, I'm sorry, Megan Taylor. I live at 129 Montague Street. My first question, when you were preparing your application and you submitted it under the personal care home, did you read the definition of group homes as defined in the Canton zoning ordinance?
I did, but I'm going to be honest with you, ma'am, I don't remember what it said.
Okay. Would you say that, I'll read the definition, just I'd like to know if you feel that you would qualify as a group home. It's a dwelling inhabited by handicapped persons as identified and provided for by the Fair Housing Act within the chapter. This is part 2 of the Canton zoning ordinance. This definition does not include persons occupying a hotel, dormitory, lodge, halfway house, boarding house, or institution. A group home involves persons functioning as a common household unit, providing non-routine support services and oversight to persons who need such assistance to avoid being placed within an institution due to physical disabilities, old age, mental retardation, developmental disability. There's that word we don't use anymore.
That's okay.
Sorry about that.
It's still very common in a lot of documents, no worries.
Or an application, or the applicant proves to the satisfaction of the zoning officer meets the definition of handicap as defined by federal law. Would you say that your support services fall into a group home as well by the definition?
I would say as well.
Okay. Sorry, I blocked that too. So when we talk about, I'll just go one thing at a time here. When we talk about the zoning provisions for personal care homes, the lot area as defined in part 4 of the chapter has a 10-foot setback for the side yards. I'm your side neighbor.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so 10-foot setback.
Which side of the house if I'm facing?
It's the 2-story, so if you're facing it, it's on the left.
Okay, thank you.
So there's the 10 feet as identified in part 4. I think you guys have this. It's the zoning part 4 area width and coverage requirements. Side yard setback is 10 feet. And then it also talks about a buffer yard of not less than 15 feet in width. It's my understanding that it needs to be 15 feet plus 10 feet, which equals 25 feet.
I think that's a question that's posed to you.
It's not the way I've read it, but I am not an expert in reading those. I mean, the way I read it was, that page. It's in here. I know it's one of the exhibits. The way I read it, it was 20 in the front, 20 in the back, 15 on each side.
So then, and this might be a conversation that the hearing board has to have, because Section A in the personal care homes provision states that it needs to meet the lot sizes by part 4 in the chapter, which is where I'm getting the 10-foot setback. And then it goes on to Section F where it discusses the buffer yard of not less than 15 feet. So that's just something I think that should be considered, because I think as you guys were talking about distances, we're looking at a real close, somewhere between 16 and 23 feet, which I don't have a huge yard. I don't want to lose my yard.
Okay.
So that's that question. You know, I think the other thing to keep in mind is I did call the office, the ODP as well. because I'm very familiar with futures.
Okay.
I work in the community. I know that you're not a personal care home. Your licensing is for a community living arrangement. Our zoning doesn't have a specific cutout for what that is, but it's not quite a personal care home. It, as defined by them, sorry, not too many notes today. Community homes are considered a group home setting. So when you look at the zoning ordinance for group homes in the Canton Borough, it cannot be within 500 feet of a community recreation area, and there is a community recreation area directly across the street. So I have a concern just with that proximity, the question behind, are you a community home? What is that defined as? Could be this, it could be that. So I think that needs to be taken into consideration by the board as well. If for no other reason, just to recognize that, you know, the zoning ordinance for a group home should be an easy no for this house in this area. I would also just ask if the zoning board were to approve this, that a privacy fence be put up around the property. We're a family, you know, I have kids, I have dogs, I have things. I don't want to have to worry about people that are not within my family, within my neighbors that I've lived with for the last 12 years. You know, I don't want paths crossing. I don't want one of your residents wandering into my yard and my dog not knowing them and going after them. So my ask would be that if this is approved for whatever purpose, that a privacy fence be put up along the 129 property line. Has a survey been done, like an official survey?
No.
So I would also ask that maybe that be done, because the GIS maps are not 100% accurate and nobody really knows where the property lines are. I will also echo, you know, there's a lot of conversation earlier about Martha Lloyd having a home just down the street. As was stated earlier, and I just want to echo it, they bought that house with the old zoning regulations, so I think it's unfair to compare that to what you're here to do tonight. I also would encourage you to understand that property layout. It's not surrounded by 3 houses. It's has no houses directly attached to the property line. So when you're considering this decision, you know, understand that you're comparing a house that's surrounded by houses and children and community recreational facilities to a house that's surrounded by the woods. And I also, being the direct next door neighbor, have concerns about how it's going to affect, you know, you have, I think you said you have 2 overnight fire drills. My husband and I work. I don't want to be woken up at 3 o'clock in the morning because you're having a fire drill. That's something that, you know, I understand if it were a residential house, but we're applying for a special exemption, so you're not technically, you know, you're not just a random neighbor that's moving in. So that would be one of my concerns of how my family could be affected by it. I know you had said it's in your intention, you know, to not put people that are on supervision, sex offenders in the area, but do you provide services to people that have violent tendencies and behaviors?
What would you define as violent?
People that cannot have access to sharp objects.
I mean, we support individuals that are autistic that can't have access to sharp objects.
Okay. So an inspection, I was reviewing inspections today. Back in 2025, it's SIN 00271345, references an individual in your community home that you have to secure weapons to reduce risk to self and others. Again, I mean, we're a little tiny family-friendly town, so having the possibility of having somebody who you have to make sure your kitchen knives are locked up is kind of a worry that we have. But for me personally, one of my biggest ones is just understanding the setback rule and the buffer zone, the buffer yard. I don't think there's enough space to accommodate both of those sections. And, you know, if you're looking as a group home, I don't think that you can approve this as a group home either because of the community recreation center being directly across the street. I think that's all I have right now. Thank you all.
Anyone else from the hospital?
My name is Trudy Moyer, and I live at 87 Montague Street. And Megan has brought up everything I had a concern with, so I really don't have anything to add to that other than the fact that I don't think it's a good idea. Just plain and simple.
And I'm Jim Moyer, 87 Montague Street, and those on the zoning committee, just remember that they have no intentions of bringing people in that are dangerous right now, but it can happen. Once you open the doors, they can move other people into this. Maybe with the best intentions at this point in time, but things change, and if somebody comes in that can't be controlled, they walk across the street, remember who voted for it.
I think you had a follow-up.
Back on Ike's question, you said you already have 2 clients that you're looking to, are they already in 2 of your home, are they already in homes that you already are providing?
Correct, yes.
So they're not new clients?
Correct, that is correct.
On your paperwork, Sandy had some questions about legality stuff. Are we gonna see paperwork that legally lists you as a personal care home or a group home? Like, are we gonna see that in paperwork? On paper? You know what I'm trying to say in my question here? Like, when you are applying for this, yes, we're taking, that you're applying, but are we seeing you listed through your agencies that you are certified with? Are we gonna see it on paperwork, they listing it as a personal care home or a group home?
It's listed as a community living arrangement.
So it's really a gray area. A little bit.
Exactly.
Okay, that was thank you. Thank you.
No other questions? Do you have any rebuttal witnesses or further questions for this board?
I don't like that she's hearing the letter, just read. This is the Borough zoning ordinance definition. Can you read what the definition of setback is?
The distance between the building and any lot line.
And we said an official survey has not been done, right?
That is correct.
I'm sorry, I have a question. I don't know who to ask this to. So when we're talking about a setback and a buffer yard.
Who's speaking?
I'm sorry, Megan Taylor, I'm back again, sorry. Talking about, in the provision, it clearly says, one line is your setback yard, and then later in that whole provision, it also talks about a buffer yard. So I'm just trying to understand, and I don't know if anybody can answer this at this point in time, if both of them need to be met, if it needs to be, they're both listed as things that they're going to fall under. And then, I know there's the whole buffer yard section within the zoning. And even though you guys are a company, this isn't a corporation or something to that effect, but.
And can I add a thought to that?
Wait a minute.
So.
Jane Hokum.
Wait, Megan's still gone.
When you talk about buffer yards, it says unless otherwise provided where a commercial or industrial use adjoins a residential district, a buffer yard of not less than 15 feet in width shall be provided along the lot lines in addition to the yard required for the district it is located in. So when I read that, I'm reading it as you need your 10-foot setback plus your 15-foot buffer yard, which equals 25 feet. I don't think you have that on, I know you don't have 25 feet on my side. So I just.
And think.
I mean, I think that's for you guys to do. I mean, sure, it's own zoning ordinance, but I would submit that the buffer yard is a different definition than a setback. The buffer yard is 15 feet, which as defined is an open area whose dimensions normally exceed the normal building setback or yard requirements used to protect low-density uses and zoning districts from adjacent higher-density uses and districts. This, within your zoning ordinance, is calls for only vegetative, doesn't require anything further than that, because it's not in a commercial or industrial use as defined.
Jane, did you have something?
LeighAnn Ellingham, the zoning officer. I just wanted to clear up, so a setback pertains to from the line setback to a building. So setbacks are for buildings normally, or an accessory building, whatever building it is, where a buffer yard is that space between. Do you know what I'm saying?
So the setback is from the house.
The
10 feet.
setback applies to the building.
Yep.
And the buffer applies to that space in between. Do you know what I'm saying? So the buffer yard is from your line, from your property line, to build a building, you need to be set back that 10 feet. That's what a setback pertains to.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And then the buffer yard is that in-between space. So that space between your line, your yard, and their house, that would be the buffer. The setback is only if you're building something. You know what I'm saying? So like, or a setback for a fence in the borough that falls under accessory. So that has to be set back a certain amount as well. That's different than
That's
the
5
single
feet.
fan. Yep,
Fence
exactly.
is 5 feet.
Yep. So that pertains to something that you're coming out of the ground. You have to be set back. That's what it's pertaining to. Something that is coming up out of the ground. You know what I'm saying? And then that buffer yard is the space in between. I hope that I made that a little more clear. I don't know how to really explain it
I
more.
think yes, but no, because they're both referenced in the provisions, that there needs to be your setback as defined in part 4 of the chapter, and then it also talks about the buffer. But it's not for me to decide, this is for the zoning committee to decide.
Opportunity to close, anything that you'd like to argue or?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for taking the time tonight. There were the people who came that were interested as well. It's an important part of government, absolutely. So, as was stated by your solicitor, special exception, it almost has like kind of a weird, sounding to the term. It sounds like a variance. It's not. A special exception is actually a use that already has been established by the legislative role of the municipality, in this case, a borough, where they've established certain uses that inherently do not affect the health, safety, and welfare of the community, and are permitted in a particular district, so long as they meet certain criteria. So it's not a variance. Once a applicant meets the general criteria and for their application, the only way a zoning hearing board, or if it was in front of another term as a conditional use, which is then heard by the legislative role, the borough supervisors, you hear special exception. But the only time that you can overturn that is to show that this particular use is somehow different than an ordinary use. So that this personal care home, community home is different than a normal personal care home, community home. And there's been nothing that has been established by any of the, I don't even know if they are objectors or not, but the people who made some comments here in opposition. Once I would submit that we have met our burden for the zoning ordinance. That's the other part, like we've talked about group home, personal care home, community home. Really, it doesn't matter how they're defined in other areas, it's how they're defined in your zoning ordinance. And your zoning ordinance, as testified, this use for futures meets a personal care home as defined. It may meet a group home as stated, but it meets the definition of a personal care home. Your zoning officer reviewed this and recommended that it met that and to file for a special exception. So that our use, what we were applying for on behalf of the applicant, met a personal care home definition within the Canton Borough zoning ordinance and to apply for a special exception. And that is why we are here. And we have put forth facts, undisputed, that meet all of the elements and all of the criteria as set forth within your zoning ordinance. And as a result, under the law, you must approve this, because this is something that your legislative, the Borough Council has established is an accepted use within this district. There's some other things that were raised about, crimes or people that maybe have on parole or probation or other things. If we are going to start knocking on doors and restricting people in their particular zoning district, I don't care what it is, because they are on probation or parole, I bet you there's several other members of this community that you'd have to tell them they must leave. As for any sort of sex offenders or Megan's Law, absolutely, 100%. And we, as part of our compliance, we can't put somebody there because that wouldn't be in compliance because of the location of a park. So everything here submitted on behalf of the applicant meets the requirements and the conditions of the zoning ordinance, and with that, we would ask that you approve this as a special exception for the applicant Futures Community Support Services Inc. at 151 Montauk Street, Canton, Pennsylvania.
Thank you. At this point, I believe that we have the opportunity to go into an executive session to answer any legal questions and to review the ordinance. I have a motion to enter into executive session.
I make a motion to move to executive session.
Second.
Is there
Excuse me.
Bless you. Sneeze too? Yeah, bless you.
Is there an office you would go to?
I don't.
No. Well, the gallery will have.
Yeah, we'll all
so you
leave.
can, yeah.
Okay. I believe we can go back on the record at this point. I would note that we did have a brief executive session to discuss the legal implications and the ramifications of tonight's proceeding. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion that we vote on this application.
Okay. And at the present time, we have a motion to be made with regard to the findings and whether or not to approve or disapprove the application of Futures.
I would make the motion to approve or disapprove of the application from Futures.
Okay. And at this point, we will do a roll call vote then. And I'll start with Mr. Rua. As the chairman, how do you vote to grant or not grant tonight's application?
Do not grant.
I vote no.
Okay.
Do not grant.
Do not grant.
Do not grant.
And it's my understanding that you're choosing to do so for what grounds, or upon what grounds?
I,
The legality of the
the
terms of the
legality of the
definition
terms of the
of
definition of group home.
Yeah.
Is your determination that it is in fact a group home?
I am leaning toward it meets the requirements for a group home or community living.
Any further clarification for your decision?
None for me.
Okay. I will be giving you a written determination, and then I will obviously be supporting that with conclusions of law and findings of fact. Would you grant me 30 days in order to provide that? A full decision.
What did you say? What did that say?
I'm just asking on the
I
record.
heard that, but the last
Full
two
decision.
words. Full decision. Thank you.
No, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
And what else, I mean,
I just wanted to provide the findings of fact and conclusions in support of it in the event that you opted to file an appeal.
right, right. Yeah, we have a timing issue, so with regarding, you know, we have a sales contract to meet. So we'll have to make a determination whether or not we want to appeal that. I mean, as for the, you know, your findings of fact, I don't want to, sorry, I usually want to always give you a certain time frame, but we're at the end of, what is it? June 30th.
Okay.
We needed to have a decision by, so.
Right. What I was going to do is supply you with the written decision from the board that just basically documented tonight's conclusion.
Sure.
And then follow up within 30 days with the complete findings of fact and conclusions of law.
Which would give me another 30 days to appeal it if I needed to.
Correct.
Sure, that's fine.
And with that, I believe that we have reached the conclusion of tonight's proceeding. I do appreciate all of you coming this evening and for your input and attendance. It is much appreciated.